What's good, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the King McClure Show, and I'm your host, King McClure, and I'm excited to be your home for everything college basketball, news, notes, whatever you want. You can find it here. We got a packed show, as we do every week. We took last week off because of the holidays. Hank was on the road. I was on the road. I've still been on the road, people, nonstop doing all these games for ESPN and Peacock. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm back. I feel like we're better because it's a new year. So happy New Year. Happy holidays. Hank, come on the screen, Hank. How was your holidays? Let's start by this. How was your holidays?
It was very nice. It was good to be back home, see some people. I will say it's too late to say Happy New Year if you subscribe to the Larry David philosophy, which I do, of course.
What is that philosophy?
I think he says you have until January 3rd, maybe, or January 5th to say Happy New Year to people. After that, it's too late. New Year's already happened.
No, because if I haven't seen you since last year, I mean, okay, you know what? You're right, because I'm going to say the first week. I'm going to give it till January 7th because at least I get a week of, acknowledgments, right? After January 7th, if I haven't talked to you or seen you since last year, I'm probably not starting off with, Happy New Year. But if I haven't seen you and it's the first 7 days, I'm going to just be polite and say Happy New Year.
I don't mind extending it to 7 days as long as we agree there is a threshold when it gets too far. And by the way, if you're the type of person who says see you next year on December 30th, stay away from me. I don't want you in my life. But new year, new show. We are skipping the 15-5 this week since we're doing a little later in the week than normal. And we're talking about the new college basketball landscape, specifically James Nnaji's debut with your Baylor Bears. King, what did you think of James Nnaji?
Well, this is very interesting, I think, for multiple reasons, because I know this happened a little minute ago, but we haven't talked about it on this show. And I think that there's a few things that need to be just thrown out there first and foremost. Number one, Baylor didn't do anything wrong. Baylor played it by the rules, and that is why they worked with the NCAA for the past 3 months so that they can acquire James Nnaji, all right? That's the first thing. We have to understand that Baylor didn't do anything wrong. I think Coach Drew, James Nnaji, I think they're taking some hate when they played it by the books, all right? That's number one, all right? Number two, coaches, when you talk to coaches, right? When I do these college basketball games, when I'm traveling constantly and I'm having conversations, I think the common thing that I'm continuously hearing from these guys is that they don't know the rules. Like, there are no clear guidelines or expectations of what is right, what is legal versus what is illegal. No coach knows, and they just want to all be on the same page so that it can be an equal playing field, because no other coach knew that you can get a guy like James Nnaji. No other coach knew that this was possible. Same thing with Pat Kelsey. I think we have to keep the same energy, right? I think we have to keep the same energy, because here's what I'll say. Yes, James Nnaji got drafted as a 31st pick. All right, cool, right? But what Pat Kelsey did to me is probably worse, because London Johnson is a better basketball player than James Nnaji. London Johnson is going to make an immediate impact next year. He's going to tear college basketball up because he's that level of good. James Nnaji, you can tell from the first two games, the TCU game, the Iowa State game that I was on the call for, he has a long way to go. He hasn't played basketball in 7 months. Like, people are continuously booing this man when he enters the game. They are showing so much hate to James Nnaji, when truth be told, he has not been that much of a game changer for the Baylor Bears. Now, granted, he got drafted, yes, but he has not been that much of a game changer. So I hope we keep that same energy towards Louisville when London Johnson steps on that floor, because you're going to feel the impact that London Johnson has, because we have to remember this. London Johnson is not getting thrown into the fire this year. He's able to sit out. He's able to learn the system. He's able to watch firsthand. And then he comes next year, while he's in shape, he understands the system. Are you serious? We better keep the same energy for London Johnson that we have for James Nnaji, because I think it's completely unfair.
Let's not root for a kid to get booed. How's that? Let's change our energy.
Okay.
Is that all right? Is that better?
We can change the energy, but like, at the end of the day, I think it's unfair. Like, my point is, it's unfair to boo James Nnaji. It's unfair because I just don't think that that's right, because he didn't do anything wrong. He is not the evil one in this system. If we should be booing anybody, forget the kids. Let's boo the system. Let's boo the NCAA. Let's try to get some clear guidelines and some rules and some ramifications on what's right, what's not right. So you're right, Hank. We shouldn't be booing the kids, all right? Let's not keep the same energy. Let's not go an eye for an eye. Okay, Hank. Look
But I
at
like
Hank.
that you're fired up about it. I do. Look,
This new year, Hank is being positive. I love this, Hank. I love the positivity that you're displaying.
wait half an hour. Wait a little longer in the show. The negativity is coming. All right, but no. Just to back us up a little bit on this James Nnaji. So he spent 4 years playing overseas. He was drafted when he was 18. He was the first pick in the second round. His rights bounced around a little bit. He was included in the Cat trade that sent Cat to New York, which I think is a fun little detail. And then now he's back at Baylor after not playing a game in 7 months. His first 2 games have not been amazing. He has 7 points total in like 30 minutes on the court. He has nearly as many fouls as he does points. So like, it's not an incredible debut so far, but do you think this is a player who could be a difference maker for Baylor down the season, or is he that raw of a product?
I don't necessarily see him as a guy, and Baylor's my alma mater, so I watch very closely. What I've seen in the past 2 games, I don't think that he will make a significant impact as far as being a dominant force. Now, I think he does make an impact on Baylor because Baylor's front court is extremely thin, right? You only have one true post player, and that's Caden Powell. So when you bring a guy like James Nnaji in, he gives you a little bit more depth in your front court. So yes, I think it makes an impact on Baylor, but he's not going to be the dominant force that everybody is expecting him to be. Because when you think of draft pick, Hank, when you think of somebody who got drafted 31st, you're thinking that this person's about to come into college and absolutely tear things up and make dudes look silly and be a grown man amongst boys. He has the potential to be that, but he's not that right now. Honestly, the best thing for him would have been to do the London Johnson route and to sit out this year, get back in shape, get his feet under him and get his timing and everything worked out so that next year, he's ready. Because now being thrown into the fire, he hasn't looked great. He's shown flashes of why he was drafted 31st, but he hasn't looked great and hadn't looked up to par of everybody else's expectations. So I think, once again, it's unfair to boo him. Let's not do that. Let's not boo any kid. Let's boo the system. But here's what I think will happen, though.
It's not as fun
Here's
to boo,
what the
man.
dominoes.
The system, you can't see the system react to your boos. And I agree with you, but It's not as fun if you're a fan.
It's not as fun. But here's where I think that the dominoes will fall, all right? When you deal with a James Nnaji situation, here's what I think is going to happen moving forward. This draft, you're going to have guys, because typically the way it goes is you have guys who declare for the draft, then there is a set date where you can withdraw your name, go back to school and maintain your eligibility, or you can leave your name in the draft. But when you leave your name in the draft, you no longer have college eligibility. That's why they have that hard date, because you have to choose. All right. So when you move forward, I think this year we're going to see guys. I could be wrong, but if I was these guys, I would test this system out. I think we're going to see guys keep their name in, which means they foregone. What is the word?
You got it.
Huh?
No. You can figure this one out. You don't need me here. You got this.
They forego,
but
they foregoed.
You were gonna get there. You were gonna get there.
No, they forego their Is it if it's past tense, then it's not forego anymore.
I think you're saying they will forego their eligibility. You're saying future.
Okay. They will forego their eligibility. Okay.
Now you've confused me. All right.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting confused. My bad. Listen, y'all. I've had a long 48 hours. I've been in West Virginia, Baylor, back to back. But it's cool though. I'm here. I'm happy. All right. So they forego their eligibility moving forward, and when they forego their eligibility, and let's say they do have, they only played 2 or 3 years, right? Technically, they still have 2 or 3 years left. I think we're going to see guys fully play out this process. See where they get drafted. If they do not like where they got drafted, let's say they got drafted 42, right? You're a sophomore, you got drafted at number 42. You're only going to sign a contract for about $400,000. The team might even put you on a 2-way. I think that somebody is going to say, I'm not taking that. I'm going back to college. And because you got drafted in the second round, now that boosts your stock. And now college coaches want you even more and they're willing to pay even more for your services because it shows that you're worthy of being a draft pick. So I think that we're going to see this moving forward and see this become a trend. Because if I'm a player and I got drafted 42nd and I don't like the money that I'm making and I go make 1.5 to $2 million in college, who's to tell me I can't do that? I've never signed an NBA contract. What's the difference between that and what James Nnaji did? I don't think there's any difference. So I think that this is where the dominoes are going to start falling. And I think somebody's going to have to get a grip on this before this gets out of control because it just takes one. It takes one person to do it. We saw what James Nnaji did. Now all of a sudden people are going to follow in his footsteps, play out the process, and try to go back to school after they already forego their eligibility. All right. So I think that this is where the dominoes will start to take effect.
I think that last time it would have been 4 went actually, but no, we'll move on. We'll move on. Rick Pitino had a tweet. Rick Pitino had a tweet. The tweet says, "Everything I'm reading from college coaches is great stuff, but what's not being said is that it's no longer college basketball. It's professional basketball with budgets that rival the EuroLeague." So what he's getting at here is what we need to do to counteract, to fix this flood of money into pro basketball. So what do you think? How do we fix this?
Ooh, I think that there's a few things off rip that I think could fix this. I think number one, you have to limit the amount of times people can transfer. I think you get one free transfer. You get one free transfer, and the second one, the only way you can get a second transfer is if your coach leaves. If your coach either gets fired or your coach takes another job, you get a second one. If not, if you want the second one, then you have to sit out a season. I think we'll see less guys transfer, so we cut that problem out, all right? I think another issue that we have is that a lot of higher schools, a lot of high-level Power 5, Power 4 schools, Power 4, Power 5, you want to include the Big East in basketball. I think that when we see these guys, these high majors, take players from low schools, low major schools, I think that you have to start paying these low major schools. No matter what that be, no matter what the price is, you have to pay these low major schools because the low major schools are the ones getting screwed. They're not getting anything from this. It's almost like I think I'm not a big soccer fan, but somebody told me this is how they do it in soccer.
Yeah, like a transfer fee is what it's called.
Yeah, like a transfer fee, yeah. You got to pay these low major schools in order to get their players. It's almost similar to what Lamar Wilkerson did, who's at Indiana. He paid $100,000 to Sam Houston just as a thank you, though. Like as a thank you of saying like, hey, I wouldn't be here without you. So like that was a good kind deed. And also it's a tax write-off. But it's a good kind deed, right, by Lamar Wilkerson. But I think that schools should be paying these programs in order to steal their players. And
call it a development fee. If you're going to invest 2 years into a player and help them become the guy they are, yeah, exactly.
Yes, because then these lower schools, right, now you understand like, okay, I'm going to have this guy for 1 year. I'm going to really focus on his development. I think then they take more pride in developing these guys, right? They take more pride in skill development, more pride in working with them because they know that if they can get a few of their guys up, all right, then they'll get more money for their program. So I do think that that's another thing that we should do. I am a big believer in, and I'm just going to go ahead and say this. A lot of people disagree with this. I'm just going to go ahead and say, if you've played professionally in any league, I don't care. You shouldn't be playing college basketball. Like there's a reason why it's college basketball and not professional. Because I just think that when you start getting into, well, he played in the Euro League and has never played in the NBA, but like it's still professional basketball, right? So like this dude played in the NBA, but has never been to college. Like both ways are professional basketball. And to me, now we're picking and choosing like what level you can play at. So we're going to say no NBA, but we'll accept EuroLeague guys. I mean, the EuroLeague is the second best league in the world. So like the EuroLeague is still a high level league. So you mean to tell me that we're going to accept EuroLeague basketball players, but we're not going to accept NBA guys? Like, I just think that we should cut out. If you played professionally, I don't care what level. If you played professionally, signed a professional contract, you should not be playing in college. And I'm just going to be the one to say it, okay? You should not be playing in college, and that's how I feel on it. I will die on that hill, Hank. You disagree? You agree with what we thinking?
I mean, look, you make a good case, and how can I argue with it? You know, like Seeing the difference that these players can make to these rosters, it gets in the way of these young guys that we want to see grow and develop. Also, there's something to be said for like trying to protect the American game, you know, like you want to
Yeah.
develop homegrown stars. You look at, we might have, maybe not now with Jokic, but we there's a chance we're going to have 5 first team All NBA players that are not
Yeah.
from the United States this year, you know? So
Sheesh.
personally, selfishly, I'd like to see less guys coming over from Europe taking
Sheesh.
those minutes. What about, there's another thing you said earlier, a salary cap for the college game? Do you think that's
Oh,
something that could actually be pulled off?
I like that. I do think that every team should have a salary cap. But you know what? I think what this all boils down to, Hank, is that we're going to have to turn these college athletes into employees. And I know they're not going to like that. People don't like that. But at the end of the day, I think that that might be the best route. So, but then when you become employees, then all of a sudden you can have collective bargainings and you can have the CBA, like what we see similar to the NBA. So I do think it could be a benefit because you have the players representing themselves, which I don't know who would represent the players. I'll definitely be a happy candidate to be a player representative because I
Look,
am
King.
younger and I'm on the media side. I will happily do that. It'll probably be a guy like Jay Billis, like in all seriousness, if that would ever come to fruition. But I don't know. I think that we're going to have to make these guys employees. And then when you make these guys employees, there has to be a salary cap on your whole team or your whole roster. And if you wanted to go NIL, you want to do all these other things, you can do that on your own. But I just think that we have to create salary caps as well so that it can be an even playing field so that no school has an advantage on the other.
Yeah, I mean, the very first episode of this show we did, you made the point that like all of this is done hypothetically to cut players in, to give them
Yeah.
what they're due for the money that they earn for these colleges based on their performance on the court, and yet we've left these kids in a place where we're leaving them worse off. We're leaving them worse off than before, where they're graduating now with no college degree, only
No
1 or
degree.
2 years of basketball. They make a couple million maybe in their time in basketball if they're lucky, but then they have no plan to continue to earn after that because they're not going to make as much playing overseas, and that's a difficult transition to make. Not everyone sticks the landing like you do.
No degree, no place to call home. And truth be told, going from making $1 million to now your first European contract is only worth 60. I mean, we talked about this earlier, but we talk about mental health. I mean, that is going to affect a lot of people, a lot of players. You spent 4 years making X amount of money. You will never see money like that in your life again because the odds of them going to the NBA are slim to none. It's hard. It's hard to make the NBA. Trust me, I know. It is hard to play on that level. So the fact that you go from here and you have to go all the way down below with no degree and no school to fall back on, because here's the thing, people. When I go back to Baylor, like I played 4 years, I gave my heart and soul to that school. When I go back to Baylor, or if I need anything, I can make 1 or 2 phone calls, and I promise you there's somebody that can help me. Not saying that it'll always be taken care of, but I assure you there's somebody that can help me because I have a home. Scott Drew, when I call Scott Drew's going to answer the phone. Like when I call Jerome Tang at Kansas State, who was with me at Baylor for 4 years, he's going to answer the phone. Like when I coach my little team that I coach in high school, and I need defensive strategies from a guy like Grant McCaslin, who was with me at Baylor for like 2 years, he's going to answer the phone. He's going to help me because I have a home and I know that I gave everything I had to one university. And a lot of these guys who are basically only there to use the university for 1 year, maybe 2 years, they don't have a home to fall back on. They don't have a place where they can just go back and be like, hey, can I go work out here during the summer? Can I go spend my whole summer here, lock in and just get better by using your facilities? They don't have a home because they only spent there 1 year. So I think being able to have a home is something that we're not seeing nowadays. And I know that, it looks good because you're making all this money. And yes, I get that. And I support that. And I'm happy for these guys. But when that money runs out, you don't have anywhere to fall back on. You don't have any place where you can go back if you need anything. And I think that's the sad part about this new NIL landscape and this new day and age of college basketball. So, all right, enough about that, okay? We're going to have to move on because we went a little long on that. So we'll touch on knockoff or name brand. Hank came up with this title, y'all. This should be interesting. We'll let you know what that is when we come right back. All right, we are back, and we're going to play a game. Name brand or knockoff. Here's how this goes. Hank is going to throw out a team to me, and I'm going to either say it's name brand, which means I like it, I think it's high level, or knockoff, which means I'm not really feeling that, all right? So, Hank, let's get this started. Give me the first team.
First team, we're going with the undefeated 15-0 Vanderbilt. Name brand or knockoff? What do you think?
Name brand. First off, that whole Vanderbilt athletic program is absolutely name brand because, look, let's not get it twisted. Michaela Blake's and what they did to LSU, how they're undefeated too. On the women's side, I think they're undefeated. I'm like 95% sure they're undefeated. But Michaela Blake's gets buckets. She is an absolute dog. Michaela Blake's might be the best hooper on Vanderbilt's campus. Ooh, yeah, I said it. All right. But her, then the football team with Diego Pavia, the whole Vanderbilt program is name brand. And their baseball team is supposed to be good.
It's ridiculous. They're good at golf
program,
too, man. Yeah.
Man, they're good at everything, man. That program is elite, all right? I hate their arena. Their arena is like the weirdest thing ever with the bitches on the baseline. I think it's the weirdest thing ever. However, the Vanderbilt boys basketball program, name brand. Tyler Tanner, Duke Miles, best. You know what? I'm going to say it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And the only reason why I'm going to say this is because they proved it last night in a game against Alabama. This is the best backcourt in the SEC. The best backcourt in the SEC. I want to say they had over 40 combined, and they outplayed LeBaron Philon and Aiden Holloway because that was number one for me. Number one for me was going to be Alabama, but they outplayed them dudes. So I can't even say that Alabama has the best backcourt anymore. So Duke Miles, Tyler Tanner, best backcourt in the SEC. Vanderbilt men's basketball is absolutely name brand, Hank.
Tyler Tanner, an awesome stat from Ben Pfeiffer. He has dunked the ball 12 times in 14 games. This is before they played their 15th game against Bama, which is on pace to shatter the record for players 6'1" or shorter. The most dunks in a season by someone 6'4" or shorter was Russ Smith, who had 19 dunks in 40 games in 2013 with Louisville. So Tyler Tanner's going to blow that out of the water. As a short king myself, thrilled to see what my brother is doing. Another thing about Vanderbilt, you're right. The women are also 15
shout out to the short king.
Yeah, please. Although stay on that side.
Shout out to the
King.
short
Come
kings.
What are you 6'5", 6'6"?
6'4".
Oh damn! I cast you off so bad. I actually thought you were gonna hit me with this 6'7" joke right there.
No.
Let's move on to the next one. You want it?
Let's go to the next one. Give me the next one.
Nebraska, name brand or knockoff?
Name brand. Name brand. And you know what? I thought this team was good. But then I watched them play against Michigan State. And I'm thinking to myself, ooh, this is no fluke. They are legit. Like, for real, for real. This Nebraska team is like that. They have a chance to genuinely win the Big Ten. They have a legitimate chance to win the Big Ten. You know, and I love what they said. I love the press conference with the players, and I want to say I think it was Rink Mast. I think so. I want to say he said this. Maybe not. Don't come for me, Nebraska fans. But they basically go, you can court storm one time. That's cool, but we expected to win that game, and that mentality right there lets me know everything I need to know about these guys. They step on the floor and they believe they can win at any moment. If that's what you have to have, they have a legitimate chance to win the Big Ten. And what a story that will be. Fred Hoiberg taking that program from zero to hero. Goodness gracious. I think they're name brand.
Yeah, I mean, too bad when they win the Big Ten, they won't be able to storm the court because they already used their one. That bothered me, honestly. You can't be storming the court against a team you were favored to beat. That's ridiculous.
No, Hank. No. Listen, I'm gonna give you two reasons why. All right. Number one, this team in Nebraska, they haven't been successful in basketball I can't even remember. Ever since I've been alive, this has been a program that has not been good. They deserve to finally be able the fans in the student section deserve to go sprint their behinds on that floor to go celebrate with the team because they finally win. Like it feels good to win. Number two, Hank, I played in a game. We played West Virginia. We were the number one team in the country. We played at West Virginia. Guess who West Virginia was ranked?
I don't know. Were they in the? I mean, it's Bob Huggins was there, so maybe they were like 17 a lot of the time. I feel like.
I want to say they were number. Don't quote me, but I want to say they were like number 8.
Okay.
However,
okay.
I think they were for sure top 15. All right, they were for sure top 15. So with them being for sure top 15, guess what happened when we lost, Hank?
I'm gonna guess they stormed the court on you just based on the context.
We were ducking and dodging. We were like here. Like we were ducking and dodging fans because they rushed the court on us. We almost got into an altercation because a fan pushed one of my players that you're not supposed to push because he's the one. Out of all the dudes on our team, he's the one you don't touch.
Who'd you touch? Who'd they touch?
I was Mark Vidal and Tyson Jolly. I mean, both of them dudes, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to both of them dudes. But you know, one thing about those dudes, they don't play. They don't mess around. You mess around, you find out the wrong things with them two, right? So those two guys happen to get touched. All of a sudden, I look up and they're having to get grabbed by our strength coach because they were about to go handle business on some West Virginia fans. But listen, it's just a part of the game. Now, I agree with you, right? Moving forward, never ever. But you should let them have their one, Hank. Come on now. Don't be that guy.
I just think they should have saved it. If wait for a game you're not supposed to. Wait till they play Michigan, who coincidentally is the next team in our game here. So Michigan, name brand or knockoff, King.
See, this is where I wish I could use like the in the middle, like the gray area, because I'm not gonna say their name brand, right? But I'd have to lean more towards knockoff.
King, you got to pick a side here. That's why we play these games.
All right, knockoff. And the reason why, bro, I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. I am not in love with this Michigan team. We overhyped them. We overhyped them, Hank. Like, it's one thing, okay? It's one thing to say they're a really good team and they deserve the props to be the best team in the country. You can make a case. Hank, we are saying they are the second greatest team to ever play in college basketball. Like, what in the world are we thinking? Hank, get back on the screen, Hank. I need to see your face on this.
We are not saying this. Our boy Kenneth Pomeroy is saying this.
We are not saying this. However, like Ken Pom, which I respect Kenneth Pomeroy. I respect that. But people are saying this is the second best team to ever play in college basketball. Like now, okay, we have lost our absolute mind. We have lost our minds, bro.
Dude, they just smoked. They beat USC by 30 points.
And you know who else beat them by 30? This is when you say who, Hank.
Who, Hank?
Michigan State. Michigan State beat them boys by 30 the very next game. That's not impressive to me. USC is not a good. USC got taken to overtime by Troy. That wasn't an impressive win to me. There's no win that Michigan can really hang their hat on outside of the Gonzaga win. But, right? We have Purdue playing Iowa State. Iowa State goes into Purdue, into an arena in which people do not have success, and they beat them boys by 30. And they're undefeated still, but we're sitting up here talking about Michigan being the second greatest team ever. Hank, we have lost our minds. They literally they beat Penn State the other day by 2. This is not the second greatest team ever. They're a really good team. They're a high-level team. But the second greatest team to ever play in college basketball is foolish. It's absolutely foolish.
On Tuesday, honestly.
And I can't wait till they lose, respectfully. Right? I cannot wait till they lose so that we can stop saying that they are the second greatest team ever. And I have the utmost respect for Dusty May. Every time I talk to him, he is a great human being, a great man. Mike Boyden, his top assistant, me and him go back since I was 15 years old when he recruited me when he was at Stephen F. Austin. That's my guy. And we was at Oklahoma State, that's my dude. Like every single time I did an Oklahoma State game, we'd sit down and have conversations, not even about basketball, just about life in general. He was that level of cool because me and him go back. So that right there Like this is not hate. I'm not hating on Michigan because I think this is a great team. I think they're one of the best teams in college basketball right now. But to hype them up to the lengths that we've hyped them up, and everybody on television is hyping them up except me, is absolutely unacceptable. And this is ridiculous. So let's go to the next one.
Well, two more things on Michigan. One, I saw some highlights this week. It was Dusty May pickup highlights back when he was at FAU. He's still coaching, but that dude could hoop a little bit. He's got a shot on him. And then this Michigan team is going to close out January. They play against Nebraska, and 3 days later, they got to go to Michigan State, play at Sparty. So we'll see maybe by the end of this month if this team is everything they cracked out to be. But King, if they win both those games, are you still making excuses for them? No? You don't think so?
No, I'm still not saying they're the second greatest team ever. Not when you have teams. I guess it's in the Ken Palm era, and you didn't really have the Ken Palm era when we're talking, the UNLV days with Larry Johnson or Christian Laettner. Like, I guess no. Like, no.
Bro, you are old.
Like, no.
You are
no, I'm not even old because I wasn't
You're
even alive during that. I'm just a basketball savant. I wasn't even close to being alive. I wouldn't even thought about then.
Let's move on. Next up, so Michigan is currently the number 1 team in Ken Palm. This team I'm about to name, they're currently number 13. So King, University of Florida, the defending champs, name, brand, or knockoff.
And this is what's crazy about analytics, because you have a team like Florida, right? We're hyping up Michigan, but you got a team like Florida who has taken some pretty significant losses already, who was the number 1 team in the country leading up to it, not even ranked now, and they're still number 13 according to analytics. Typically, I'm an analytical guy. I love analytics. But when it comes to Florida, when it comes to Michigan, I'm not buying it. Florida's not knocked off. I do love Thomas Ha, though. I think that he's a lottery pick. Thomas Ha is a lottery pick. He's one of the best wings in the country. He's a lotto for sure. But I don't see it with Florida. I don't think that Xavier Lee is as good as we thought he was going to be, because eventually, Hank, and I hate to be negative, I'm a very positive guy, but eventually we just have to start calling things a spade. Call a spade a spade. Like we expected a lot more from Xavier Lee. He hasn't lived up to the expectations. We're about 15, 16 games in. We're halfway through the season. Like, he might be able to turn it up towards the latter half, but up to this point, he hasn't lived up to the expectations. And maybe we had our expectations, our standards for him were a little bit too high. So for Florida, I'm going to say knockoff. What we got next?
All right, next up, we got local team to you, SMU. Name, brand, or knockoff.
I'm a believer in SMU. Even though they lost to Clemson last night, I am a believer. And why am I a believer? Let's go, Hank. Get back on the screen. What do I always preach every single week?
Something about Boopy Miller looking like Rich Paul. It's guards. Guards win in March. Good guards win in March.
Guards win games. And they have one of the best guards in America. They have 3. They have a trio who it doesn't get talked about enough. I mean, Boopy Miller, what he did to North Carolina, 29 points, 12 assists, 2 turnovers. Are you serious? Right?
Averaging about Caleb Wilson also. I don't know if you saw him.
Oh, yeah. That was
snatch his ankles and hit the shot in front of his own bench with his teammates in the back going.
Yeah, that was disgusting. That was gross.
One of my favorite pictures from this season so far.
The way that he plays the game, he's always making his teammates better. He's not just an offensive guy. He's a defensive guy as well. I mean, he does so many good things for this team. Boopy Miller is high level. He's legit. He's the real deal. Yes, I'm all in. I'm all in on this SMU team. I think that they will be in contention, and at least in top 3 in the SEC. Top 3, top 4. Not SEC, I mean ACC. Top 3 or top 4 in the ACC. Let's go next.
Well, also Boopy Miller, he's top 10 in the country in free throw percentage, something that matters in March as well. So that SMU team, that's one to watch. All right, last team here, and I have a feeling I know where you're going with this one. Tennessee, name, brand, or knockoff.
You know what, Hank? I'm going to let you answer this one, because I feel like your opinion on this team is a little bit stronger than mine. So what is your opinion? Knockoff or name brand Tennessee?
I mean, 2 days ago, this team beat my dumb team down in Austin. Beat them so bad that Sean Miller had to go into a post-game press conference and say certain guys that are getting minutes for us are not representing the standards of the University of Texas and will not be getting minutes anymore. Calling out players about as directly as I've heard from a college basketball coach so far this season. And yet, I actually think Tennessee is a knockoff. I'm not buying. They came into this year with a lot of hype. Nate Ament in particular is a guy I had my eye on as an NBA draft fan. He has not delivered. 6'10" for what is what I would say. The physicality is just not there. So no, I'm saying knockoff. I don't think this Tennessee team is what I was told they were going to be, which is one of the teams that is supposed to contend for the top of the SEC. What do you think, King? Did I nail that one?
I can agree with you. I can get with that. I do think Nate Ament had a lot of expectations on him, once again, like Xavier Lee, and he has not lived up to any of them. So I would have to lean more towards the knockoff side. There we go, Hank. Way to pick us. Way to be strong on your opinion, even though people might disagree with you. We love that. We know one thing about Hank. He's gonna stand on business.
Strong opinions, loosely held. That's how we do it.
Oh my. We love it. All right. Coming up next. My bad, I can't speak. Coming up next, we have the Kings of the Week, and we're going to include a Queen of the Week. You'll see who we're talking about when we come right back. And we're back. And like I promised, we're going to get into the Kings of the Week. Let's go. We're going to start. Hank actually put this one on here, so I'm going to let Hank explain why he loves Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. Go ahead.
I mean, this guy he's incredible. He's so good. He's averaging like a 20 and 10 as a freshman at UNC. I think he has a case to be the best UNC freshman ever. I dove into this a little bit. Right now, I think it goes to Phil Ford. Played in the 70s. I can't say I remember his game that well, but Caleb Wilson already broke his record for most consecutive 20-point games. He's scoring more points than Tyler Hansborough. Psycho T has the record for scoring by a UNC freshman. He's getting more rebounds than Wizards legend Anton Jamison, who has the record for most rebounds by a UNC freshman. Like what Caleb's doing at this school, which has a historically great college basketball program, has never been done before. And when that's happening, man, you got to recognize it. Also, this guy is a monster on the defensive end. So I have a question for you, King. When we came into this draft cycle, there was a pretty clear top three. It was DeBansta, it was Peterson, and it was Boozer. You and I have both discussed here before. We think DeBansta and Peterson are a cut above Boozer. Do you think Caleb Wilson could maybe knock off Cam Boozer and climb his way into that top three by the end of this draft cycle?
Whew, no, I do not. And I think that I agree. I agree with you. I think that there should be serious conversation, some uncomfortable, serious conversations about Caleb Wilson being in that third spot over Cam Boozer. I think that I think that there should be. I agree with you on that. However, the consensus in America by people that aren't me and you say that Cam Boozer is a lock for a top three pick. So I guess Cam Boozer is going to go number 3 and Caleb Wilson should go number 4. But I do think that there should be some hard conversations about Caleb Wilson sneaking into the top 3. I agree. Yeah.
If his jump shot starts to come together, I think it's a matter of time. And I will say he's changed my opinion from it being a 3-player draft to the top to a 4-player draft. Even if you don't think he can pass Boozer or Peterson with those injury concerns, I think he belongs in that category.
He definitely belongs in the category. All right, the next guy, Abuka Okori. We've talked about him before on this show against Virginia Tech. 31 points, step back game winner. Disgusting. He gets buckets. If you haven't had the joy to watch this young man play, please go take a look at what he is doing. He is one of the leaders in points, not only in freshman, but in the country. He gets buckets at a high rate, and he's only a freshman. Fun fact, I want to say, I think he played on the same high school team last year as Trae from Iowa State. That team was a team that you probably didn't want to see, if I'm being honest. That's ridiculous. You got a dude like Okori scoring the ball, and you got Trae picking you up 94 feet. Absolutely disgusting. He is 8th in the country right now, averaging 22.6, which I round up, averaging 23 points per game. Abuka Okori is like that. And I'm gonna add one more king of the week to this list, Tyler Tanner. Tyler Tanner is that dude. We talked about him earlier, but Tyler Tanner is him. What he did against Vanderbilt, 29 points. I want to say I don't know how many assists. Don't get me lying. But 29 points, or 27 or 29 points, one of the two, right? What he did against Alabama last night was extremely impressive. He was the best player on the floor, dominated in every single fashion in which you could do. He's like that, all right? This is the first time. We're about to do it first on this show. We're about to do it first on the show. You ready, Hank?
I'm ready for it.
I'm going to give you my queen of the week, all right? And there's really no reason why I wanted to put her on this list. I just want to mention her name and talk about her because this is so intriguing to me. Stephanie, I might butcher her name, Stephanie
I believe it's
Okechukwu.
Okechukwu. Yeah, I think you nailed that.
Stephanie Okechukwu, the 7-1 Texas Tech commit. Bro, 7-1. Dude, I'm looking up to her. 7-1, Hank. Bro, I'm looking at her like this, bro. 7-1. Who is stopping her? We talk about Adi Crooks. Who is stopping Stephanie Okechukwu?
Audie Crooks isn't stopping many people, I will say.
But yes, but who is stopping who is stopping the 7-1 woman?
No, this is a cheat code. This is she could
Bro.
put up Zach Edey numbers when she gets to the league.
And what's even crazier about this, yo, is Texas Tech is already undefeated right now. Bro, they have not lost a game. They're like a top 15, top 20 team in the country right now. And you're going to add this 7-1 woman who I'm watching videos of her and just hooping and working out. Bro, drop step dunk with the left. Drop step dunk with the left. Drop step, like, bro, it was like 5 in a row. Easy money. Fam, this is going to be unreal. If she has just a slight bit of coordination, that's my biggest fear for her, all right? My biggest fear is that her coordination might be a little bit off because she's so tall, right? Almost like Zach Edey-esque, right? I mean, Zach Edey was very coordinated at his height, but like typically when you get above like 7'4" for guys, then they like the dude Olivier from Florida, right? Perfect example. My fear is that she might end up being like him. But nonetheless, if she's coordinated, if she can actually play, bro, the NCAA, be aware. Like somebody call 911 because she is about to absolutely kill teams.
I mean,
Murder
King,
teams.
you got out at the right time for sure. They're feeding kids something different these days. I don't know what it is, but you picked a good time to step away. You want to move along?
Let's go. Let's go to my favorite segment we do every single week. All right. We have what? 1, 2. We have 5 people.
Only 4. We only got 4.
Oh, we have 4. We cut that one off. We got 4 on Who's Tripping. Let's start with number 1. Micah Shrewsbury. If you don't know what happened, they were playing the game against Cal, and I'm gonna put 2 people in this category. 2 people are tripping in this category. They were playing against Cal. It was about 9 seconds to go. They tried to foul. The guy dribbles the ball across half court. He shoots a shot, and they're up by 3 currently. They're up by 3. Notre Dame is. He shoots a shot. He makes the shot. He gets like maybe a little love tap. Maybe a love tap. Maybe a little, just like, maybe that's all it was at most, right? And the referee calls a foul. He makes the shot. It's a 4-point play. He makes the free throw. Now Notre Dame is down by 1. They come down on the opposite side, and they miss the shot. What does Michael Shrewsbury do? He goes to run out after the referee, tries to attack the referee, and I don't know what he was going to do. I know there was not a lot of nice words being said, but it looked like he was trying to throw down with the referee. And I get it. I get the frustration. But there are 2 people that are absolutely tripping. Number 1, the referee. What in the world are you looking at? Let's please hold the referee accountable. Please, for the love of me. Because how do you call a call like that in such a pivotal moment in the game? How do you make a call like that? That right there is ridiculous. He's number 1 who's tripping. Because look, calls like that get coaches fired. Like Michael Shrewsbury is not a coach he's a great coach, but he's a coach that has been talked about being on the hot seat for a little minute now, right? So what if this one loss makes him not get to the tournament? Like if it causes him to not make the tournament and because needed one more win and this could have been the win, bro, you just got this man fired off a bogus call. That's absolutely horrible. But to flip to the other side, Michael Shrewsbury, horrible caller, not as a coach, as a leader, as a person in power. You're in a position where you are leading young men. You cannot go after the referee like that. Control your emotions. You can be pissed off. You have every right to be pissed off, right? You can MF everybody in the locker room. You can punch walls, whatever. Do that in the privacy of your own secluded space. But to publicly go after a ref, bro, you're absolutely tripping. So the referee, I don't know the referee's name. I ain't even gonna say the referee's name, but the referee and Michael Shrewsbury, you're absolutely tripping. All right, next, let's go. Hank pointed this one out. And I still cannot believe that there was a tweet put out, that Fox put out, right? And the picture is still on there. And what it's showing is it's showing Braden Smith setting the all-time Big Ten assists.
I think it's all-time assist record, period.
Yeah, all-time assist record.
Big Ten all-time assist
record. All-time assist record in the Big Ten, all right? And he passed Cassius Winston. And you guys, I don't know who in the world this dude is with number 5 jersey, but that's not Cassius Winston. And like I know me and Hank aren't tripping, right? But this post is still up by Fox, which is absolutely crazy to me because Fox is a well-respected brand. But yo, that is not Cassius Winston. I don't know who that is. That might be AI Cassius, but that's not the Cassius Winston that I played against. That ain't Cassius. That's not Cassius Winston. Hank, is that Are we tripping? Our eyes deceiving us?
We are not tripping here. You and I are not tripping. Like Fox Sports is a well-respected brand. They usually do not make mistakes like this, but I think that just speaks to the way college basketball is treated as an afterthought by some of these big networks, because Cassius Winston is one of the most successful players in Big Ten history. Like this dude, when I was a child watching him play, and he played there for a long time, he was a figure, he was a staple on Tom Izzo's teams. He ran that crunch time offense. So like to disrespect him in this way, and by the way, when we were originally planning to do an episode before the new year, that is when I first pulled this tweet. It has been over a week, and it is still up on the Fox College Hoops Twitter account. You can go look at it for yourself at CBB on Fox on Twitter. What are we doing? What are we doing here? This is an easy one to get right. Oh my goodness.
That's all bad. That is all bad. All right. Let's move on. All right. We're gonna skip this one, and then I'm going to say the best one for last. All right. This next one, we're going Travis Schlenk. All right, Hank. Yeah. You the one, you put this one on there. So why is he tripping?
Let me get my DC bona fides on first. Show you guys I know what I'm talking about. All right. I am one of 11 Wizards fans that are on the internet. It's been tough for us the last few years. Actually, you know what? I don't even want to disrespect our community like that. I think Wizards fans and basketball fans from DC in general are typically a well-educated group. The hoops culture is very strong there. You grow up in it. It's all around you. People typically know what's going on, and that's why we don't like being lied to. Okay? Now, Travis Schlenk is the director of player personnel for the Washington Wizards. He's also one of 2 people in NBA history to trade away Luka Doncic. Now, he's not Nico Harrison. He's the guy who did it when he was with the Hawks. He traded Luka at the draft to get Trae Young, and he just traded for Trae Young again to bring him to the Wizards. Trae stands for everything I don't like as a basketball player. He doesn't play defense. He takes selfish shots. He's a selfish assist generator. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but he's the type of guy, Rondo had a little bit of this, who will hold the ball too long so that he can be the one to get the assist. He'll try to just do dump offs and whatever and not let the offense flow. And what the Hawks have learned in his, 7 years being with the team is that the best you can put on the floor around him is an average product, is the middle, is 500. And the Wizards, for a long time, after John Wall left, were an average product. They tried to build a team around Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps Porzingis. Like, that is an average product. So, to me, the Wizards are making this move and signaling that this is them trying to be more competitive. They're buying low on a player who's a 4-time All-Star. They want this guy to be there to take them to the next level and signal that, hey, the Wizards might be starting to get competitive again. Not this year because our pick is topic protected, but next year when we try to rehab Trae Young. I don't like being lied to by Travis Schlenk. I know this guy is not going to move us closer to a championship. At best, he might move us closer to the middle. I don't appreciate that for my team. If they had given us a pick, maybe you could have talked me into it, but come on, man. This is a negative asset. We just had it.
It is crazy, though. What you have to give up for him is just CJ and Corey Kispert, which is very crazy to me. But I don't really have any strong thoughts. I played against Trae Young. He was tough to guard. So I really don't have any strong thoughts about this. Clearly, Hank does, and Hank, I respect your opinion.
He
Don't
was
lie to
tough
the
to guard,
man.
but how many points did you score that game if he was guarding you?
He actually didn't guard me, but I want to say I had like 10,
You know why he
like
didn't
10
guard
to
you?
12, because he can't guard.
Because you were good at offense. They didn't want to put him on you. All right, man.
Yeah. So, okay, I hear you, Hank. All right, last one for the day. We have to save the best one for last because this guy, we're gonna keep it in the NBA. Jason Kidd, great point guard, great coach, great figure. Got in the press conference and said one of the most outrageous statements, things that he could have ever said. Can you please pull up the tweet? All right, bro. Yeah. All right, Jason Kidd wants Cooper.
You got to read this out loud because this is an audio product. You know, we have podcast listeners who can't see the tweet right now, so we need to hear you
All
say
right.
this, King.
NBA Central, the Dunk Central, put out a tweet and he said that Jason Kidd wants Cooper Flag to touch, rub, and hold onto that rookie wall, right? The quote actually goes, what Jason Kidd said, he's got to touch it. He's got to rub it and hold it. He's got to embrace it. That's a mental thing. For the great ones, they touch it. What are we talking about, J Kidd? What are we discussing? You have to know the day and age that we live in. Anything you say as a coach is probably going to go viral if it's anything like this. There's a time and a place. It was such a crazy tweet that I really thought, a crazy quote that I thought he was trolling at first. But my man was dead serious, and he was referring to the rookie wall. Like, there's ways to describe a rookie wall and how you should go about it, other than saying he's got to touch it, rub it, hold it, embrace it. Like, bro, what are we talking about? Like, when you start talking about rubbing it, big dog, come on now. Bro, come on now, J Kidd. For a dude of his caliber to get up here and say something crazy like that, you were absolutely tripping.
For no reason. There was no reason to say it in that way.
Tripping, bro. Hey, you could have described that a million other ways. J Kidd, I have the utmost respect for you. But right here, man, you guys to do better in press conferences. Please don't have a repeat. Please don't have a repeat. But all right, we're going to end on that note because J Kidd is absolutely tripping, all right? But thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, all right? Right now, we are 10 subscribers away from hitting 3,000. Let's get us to that 3,000 mark, all right? We appreciate you who do tune in. 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, by the way. But we appreciate you who do tune in every single week. We're thankful. We're grateful. We're trying to build this thing, and we couldn't do it without you, all right? So until next time, Hank, we're out.